Hello students, today we are going to discuss the topic inflorescence. Inflorescence. In the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants, we discussed about root, stem and leaf, that is vegetative morphology. Now with inflorescence we are starting reproductive morphology. Reproductive morphology. So in reproductive morphology, we will study about flower, fruit and seed. So the flower, fruit and seed are reproductive organs of the plants. Okay, while root, stem and leaf are vegetative organs, flower, fruit and seed are reproductive organs. So the study of flowers is called anthology. It's called anthology. So what is flower actually? Flower is a modified shoot for sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. So from the statement you have to understand, flower is not a special organ. It is a modified organ of the shoot system. And how can we say that it is a modified part? So what are the evidences to prove that the flower is a modified part? So you just check in any plant whenever it is blooming, where that flower is present. You may find the flower either in the axil of the leaf or at the tip of the branch. So that indicates that what structure has become a flower. So it is either axillary bud or the terminal bud that is modified into a flower. Okay, that's why it is a modified shoot. And sometimes that means these axillary buds and terminal buds will contain shoot apical meristem. Shoot apical meristem. So remember this shoot apical meristem is present in both terminal bud as well as axillary bud. So sometimes what will happen, this shoot apical meristem may develop into a single flower. Develop into a single flower. Or sometimes what happens, this shoot apical meristem will develop into an axis, and over this axis you will find a group of flowers. Group of flowers. So the axis which is bearing this group of flowers is called peduncle. Axis bearing the group of flowers is called peduncle. So the arrangement of these flowers on this axis or peduncle is called inflorescence. So what is inflorescence? The arrangement of flowers on peduncle is called inflorescence. And this inflorescence are of different types. Basically, we come across with two types of inflorescences. There are one is racemose inflorescence, and the other one is cymose inflorescence. Racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence. In racemose inflorescence, the growth of peduncle is indefinite. That means here the peduncle will grow continuously. Whereas here the growth of peduncle is definite. Growth of peduncle is definite. Let us see what might be the reason for this. Why the peduncle is growing definitely? Because the terminal bud of the peduncle is modified into a flower. So here the terminal bud of the peduncle is modified into a flower. Let us say this is the peduncle. And let us say that the terminal bud became a flower. Now there is no further chance for the growth of this peduncle. And if at all any flowers have to produced, they will be produced below it but not above it. So one more flower, let us say like this. And whereas here the growth of peduncle is indefinite because the peduncle terminal bud of this peduncle is not modified into a flower. So that's why while it is growing, it go on produces flowers. Continuously. Okay, so the second character, as it is continuously growing, you will find what indefinite number of flowers. Indefinite number of flowers. And whereas here the number is limited number of flowers. Limited number of flowers. And you can see here, this is, I am giving numbers for these flowers. First flower, second flower, third flower, fourth flower, fifth flower. And you can see the first flower is the oldest flower and the fifth flower is the youngest one. So the oldest flowers are at the base and the younger ones are at the top. So this arrangement is called acropetalous arrangement. Acropetalous arrangement of flowers. And when we come to the cymose, you can see that I am giving numbers for this. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 2. Both of them are formed at the same time. So, which one is the oldest flower? This is the oldest flower. And these two are what? Younger flowers. And the oldest flower is at the top, and the younger ones are at the base. Reverse to that racemose. So, that's why this is called basipetalous arrangement. Basipetalous arrangement. And suppose if this axis peduncule is condensed axis, so then you will find okay, the youngest flowers in the middle and the older ones toward the periphery. So this is older flower and this is younger flower. And here also, when it is condensed peduncle, so the older flower in the middle and the younger ones will be toward the periphery. I hope it is understanding. Here the younger flower is in the middle and the older ones toward the periphery, and whereas here the older flower is in the middle and the younger ones toward the periphery. So when the peduncle is condensed, okay, so then you will find, we call this as what? Centripetalous arrangement. Centripetalous arrangement. So this is applicable to elongated axis. Elongated axis. And centripetalous arrangement is for the condensed axis. Okay, so here this is called okay, when the older flower is in the middle and the younger ones toward the periphery, this is called centrifugal arrangement. Centrifugal arrangement. I hope you're understanding. Basipetalous arrangement is for elongated axis, and centrifugal arrangement is for condensed axis. Okay, and now actually in our textbook they gave only examples directly for racemose. Example is okay, crotalaria, mango tree, and others, cassia. And for cymose, they gave examples like okay, so this datura, hibiscus, jasmine, etc. Here are the examples, but in this video I would like to explain some details, additional information, but I will brief those different types of inflorescences which are not mentioned in our NCERT textbook. So first let us discuss about racemose inflorescences, and we can classify them into two categories again based on the presence and absence of the stalk of the flower. And the stalk of the flower is called pedicel. And when the flower is with the pedicel, the flowers are called pedicellate flowers. And when that pedicel is absent, we call them as what? Sessile flower. So the first category, racemose inflorescences with pedicellate flowers, and the second category, racemose inflorescences with sessile flowers. So with pedicellate flowers, we have three types: raceme, corymb, and umbel. And of course, in raceme, we find two types again, based on whether the peduncle is branched or unbranched. And if the peduncle is unbranched, we call that as what? Simple raceme. Simple raceme. And if the peduncle is branched, it is called compound raceme. And in corymb also, you will find these two categories, that is simple corymb and compound corymb. In the similar manner, in umbel also, you will find simple umbel and compound umbel. Okay, and in simple raceme, very okay, peduncle is unbranched, and over this peduncle, you will find the flowers which are arranged acropetally. Okay, this is bract pedicel flower. So when the bracteate pedicellate flowers are arranged acropetally on unbranched peduncle, this is called simple raceme, and the example is crotalaria. And in compound raceme, okay, the peduncle is branched. This is the peduncle. These are the branches of peduncle, and over the branches, you will find these flowers. So every branch resembles a simple raceme. Okay, that's why this is also called raceme of racemes, or this is also known as panicle. And the example for this, mangifera, that is mango plant or mango tree. And in corymb, you will find what? Okay, like this, peduncle. These are bracts, and you can see the flowers arise acropetally. But this is the first flower, second flower, third flower, fourth flower, acropetal arrangement. But the first flower is with the long pedicel, and the last flower is with short pedicel, and because of which all flowers will come on to one level. That is what the corymb speciality. And the example for this, simple corymb, cassia. And the compound corymb, okay, here the peduncle is branched, and every branch will show simple corymbs. Every branch resembles a simple like this. Another example for this compound corymb is gynandropsis. And in umbel, you will find what? The peduncle will produce many bracts at its apex, and many flowers are formed in all directions. And the entire thing will appear like an umbrella. That's why this is called umbel. So this is peduncle, and these are bracts, and these are flowers, pedicellate flowers, and this is peduncle. So the example for this is onion. And in compound coryb, you can take uh, one more example, that is what? Cauliflower. Cauliflower, okay, is also a compound coryb. And in compound umbel, so you'll find what the peduncle, and here a whorl of bracts is there, and this is called involucre. So here also involucre of bracts, and from this involucre in compound umbel, branches develop, and every branch ends up with simple umbels like this, and these are called involucelles, okay, like this. So the example for this is coriander. Coriander. Okay, these are the pedicellate flowered racemose inflorescences, and now let us come to this sessile flowered racemose inflorescences. So in the spike, you will find what the unbranched peduncle, and the flowers are arranged acropitally. So the bracteate sessile flowers are arranged acropitally. So it is somewhat resembles raceme, simple raceme, but it differs from the simple raceme in the absence of what pedicels. So the example for this amaranthus, and achyranthus. And catkin, okay, is unisexual inflorescence, and here it will have a drooping peduncle or weak peduncle, and remember this is the base of the peduncle, and the arrangement is same, that is acropetalous arrangement. So this is base of the peduncle, and this is apex. So acropetalous arrangement, and because as it is weak, it is okay, hanging downwards. And the example for this is Acalifa. Okay, and Casuarina, and also this mulberry. All of them, they show this catkin type of inflorescence. And of the spadix, in the spadix inflorescence, so you'll find one structure, a protective structure is formed by one modified bract, and that is called spathe. So actually the inflorescence is spike only, but the spike with spathe is called spadix. Another example for this is colocasia, alocasia, all that. and even Amorphophallus. That is Spadix. And when we come to head inflorescence, and this head inflorescence is a highly advanced inflorescence, and you will find this in the family Asteraceae, and in which you will find the most popular sunflower plant belongs to this family. So that's why Asteraceae are called sunflower family. And that sunflower, generally people think that sunflower is a flower, but sunflower is not a flower, it is a group of flowers. Is what sunflower is inflorescence. Okay, and in this head inflorescence, of course, you will find what many flowers, and all these flowers are okay, reduced in size, and these reduced small flowers are called florets. And these florets are of two types. That is, one is disc florets, which are bisexual, and the other one is ray florets, which are unisexual female. Okay, and the said inflorescence is again can be classified into two types based on whether it has both florets or only one. So, if it has only one type, homogamous head, and if it has two types, heterogamous head. Homogamous head with only ray florets. Example, okay, chrysanthemum. And also this tagetes, that is marigold plant. And you see, when so the chrysanthemum flowers and marigold flowers are with only ray florets, means they are only unisexual female, and that's why. But still, they produce what seeds? Can you tell me how they can produce these seeds? How they are able to produce the seeds? I think you have studied about apomixes. That's why they mentioned this family Asteraceae under that aspect apomixes. Asteraceae members and Poaceae members will show that apomixes. Okay, and another one, the homogamous head with disc florets. Okay, examples are Vernonia. And heterogamous head, both will be there, both ray florets and disc florets. And the best example is sunflower. And remember that in sunflower, so the ray florets are present toward the periphery. In sunflower, ray floret, these are ray florets. And in the center, you will find disc florets. You know, these are ray florets, and these are disc florets. So that is about these racemose inflorescences, and we will discuss about cymose. So in cymose inflorescences, we find three types, three basic types. Solitary cyme. So solitary means what? A single. When a single flower develops at the okay, when a single flower develops in the axil of the leaf, as in the case of hibiscus, this is called axillary solitary. So hibiscus, that is China rose, and you will find a single flower at the apex of the branch, as the case of datura, and this is called terminal solitary. Example is datura. And in simple cyme, of course, the peduncle terminates with a flower. And then on the peduncle, you will find two bracts develop. From the axils of these two bracts, now two young flowers will develop. Okay, like this. So it ends up with three flowers only. Okay, and this is called simple cyme or cymule. Another example, I hope jasmine and also bougainvillea. Jasmine and bougainvillea. And when we come to the branched cymes, after termination of the peduncle with a flower, if one branch is formed, which again terminates with a flower, and again it produces one branch, like that if it continues, and every time after termination, if it produces one single branches, it is called monogastrial cyme. And after termination of the flower, it is producing two branches, then digastrial cyme. And after termination of the peduncle with the flower, if more than two branches are formed, it is called polygastrial cyme. And of course, this monogastrial cyme based on the direction. If all branches are formed on one side, then it is called helicoid cyme, Hemilia, begonia examples. And if they are formed in zigzag fashion, then it is called scorpioid cyme, and the example is solanum. And the dicacious cyme, example is hypomia and clerodendron. And the polycacial cyme, where many branches are formed, that is the nerium. These are about different types of inflorescences. There is racemose and cymose, but we have some more like special types. One is verticillaster, verticillaster, and this you will find in the Lucas. And the second one is cyathium, which looks like a single flower, and this you will find in euphorbia. And you will find a fruit like inflorescence, which is called hypanthodium. Hypanthodium. And the example is fig. These are different types of inflorescences. Okay,